What's up, y'all? So don't worry about the background, man. I'm working hard. Eventually, right, that's the brake, that's all the brake setup, you know what I mean? The rotors, the brake pads, the calipers, just all that. So that's what's in those boxes there. That's the radiator support. Eventually that's going to go on. That's the fender. That's going to go on. That's the transmission. That's going to go on. All this will be cleared up. The seats will be in. So it just is going to be a matter of time. So apologize about the background. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, what we are doing now is working on these axles. So I bought 2 axles. They both were 32 inches. That's an issue because the way the rear end works, there's at least the one I have, there's an offset. So one of the axles need to be 30 inches and the other axle is about 27 inches. So I had to buy another one that was 29 inches. So then I could cut this down to where it's only 27 and a half inches or 27 and whatever the count was. I got to look back at my numbers. But with that being said, if I do this right, I'm going to start with the longer one since I have 2 of them. If I do this right, then I can return the other one, get my change back for that. And then obviously I'll know how to do the smaller one. So no mistakes. Let's get this right on the first go. So the axles I have, they're Curry axles for this Curry 9-inch. They are 31 spline. The one I'm going to cut is 32 inches. I need to measure out about 2 inches. So I'll do like 1.8 or something like that. And then cut that off, test it in there, see how far we can really get it in there. Cause you really want that seal flush. So, you know, none of that juice gets out, none of the oil and stuff. But we get that right. We'll do the same thing with the smaller one. So let's get it popping. So I have this, measuring tape and I place this block up flush with the end of the axle here. And as I measure, well, first of all, it's not 32 inches. So that's one. This is like 31 and 1/8. That's a huge difference. That's damn near an inch less. So I could have made that cut just going off of them saying it's 32 inches long and I would have been off. You know what I mean? So when you get your axles, just measure the axle yourself. So knowing that I only need to cut off an inch, I'm gonna keep that 1/8 just in case, just to see if I have any play. So instead of taking 2 inches off, which was the original plan, we're gonna take 1 inch off. So I need to mark that. We're gonna mark off 1 inch. Oh yeah, that's not bad. You may be asking like, why not use this here and why use the handheld one? I don't have a blade for this and just being lazy, don't want to go get it. That's just a pure honest answer. The reason you want to use a saw like this is so it's straight. I can already see I'm not straight here. So that's going to be stuff I have to fix later. When you finish cutting, do not touch this side that you just cut because you're going to burn the shit out yourself. All right. So I just made my cut, but since I was doing it by hand, I want to make sure that I got this down to 30. Or somewhat, give or take. So like 30 and 1/8, you know, because we were leaving that 1/8 on there. I cut off an inch, so now I'm at 30. And then I went over and just made sure that it fit. I put the pumpkin in the housing and then pushed this in and got it all the way. I beat it in and it made contact. It was really good, really smooth, splines connected. Everything spun the way it was supposed to. So we good to go, man. We did that. So that is for the passenger side. The passenger side is the longer side. So now that I know I did that correctly, I need to do that for the driver's side. The driver's side is smaller, right? Because of the offset. So what I did, like I told y'all, was I bought, my nose, my sinuses is killing me right now. But so what I did was I bought a 29-inch same 31 spline, but 29-inch axle, and it comes with the same stuff. You have the bearing and the retainer and the studs, and then you get studs for both Ford and Chevy. So they have the 1/2 inch for Ford, 7/16 for Chevy. So regardless of who you're going with, but I have to do the same thing. So now that I know that I did this correctly, I can return that one and get my money back. And then for this one, it says 29-inch, but I'm gonna measure. And then at that point, we should be good. So I'm pushing for 27 inches from the calculations. Curry has a website. I'll try to put it up on here. They have a website they have a website in general, but they have a calculator on there. It asks you to do certain measurements. And when you take those measurements, you'll put those measurements in the calculator. And it'll tell you I'll put it up here. It'll show you when you do the measurements, it's going to have like arrows and stuff pointing at what is what, right? Passenger side, where the axle will go in, driver side where the axle will go in, the pumpkin, the offset. It'll help you with all of that kind of stuff once you get I think it's like 2 or 3 measurements you need to get. Overall, it's like 5 or 6 measurements. So you get 2 or 3 of them, and it does the rest for you. That's how I was able to find my numbers. All right, we are almost there with messing around with this rear end. So I got to do the smaller side. That's what I'm going to do. Now to move on, we got this housing. What I want to do today is 3 or 4 things, right? I want to wire wheel it down all the way across. It's not bad at all. I just want to get any dust, any top level rust off of this thing. So especially from the face here on the flange, and then just get the rest of this. So that's 1. 2, tape it off. So pretty much tape off around this little section where the third member is going to go, and then like put a bag over this. So then 3, I could paint it down. So I want to paint all around everything. This will be covered up by the third member, so I'm not worried about painting that. Plus, when you go to put that seal around, you want to make sure nothing is going to impede that. So that's why we want to have that covered. And then 3, just because I got some clear, I was going to use this on the engine bay. All the different parts. I'll just go get some more. But since I got it here, I use it on this. So it'll be a little shiny under there, a little glossy if anybody ever takes a look. It's no biggie, but this is my first item that I'll be painting outside of the frame. But that was kind of simple, you know what I mean? I threw some rust stuff on there. But this will be pretty cool because it'll be underneath the car. So if I don't do as well of a job as I feel like I should have, it's underneath the car anyways. And then if I do a good job, it just gives me confidence to kind of do the rest of the car. So with that being said, man, let's jump into this, man. Bruh, look how much nicer it is already. So this is the left side. I haven't touched that side yet. All right, you can still see all the kind of spackle rust everywhere. All right. Look at this side. Look at the shine now. Look at the shine on there. So you see, I've already finished wire wheeling where I wanted to wire wheel. Now I am taping off where the third member would go. So as I paint, it won't get in the area where we got to put that lubricant and then the gasket and then the lubricant on top of the gasket and then the third member. So you want to keep that surface clean. Plus I still need to hit all that area with like some brake clean and on the inside and stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm doing stuff out of order, but whatever. So here's the paint. I did a coat or 2 on this. It came out pretty cool for it being spray can. I got a few runs on here though. You can see some runs there on the inside and here. And then same place on this side. I got some rounds on the top here. So it's not that big of a deal. I didn't really. This is gonna be underneath the car, and underneath the car is all black. I even painted the gas tank black. So this will really pop when you look underneath. So I'm gonna let this sit overnight. Wipe it down with a little tack rag, and then hit it with some clear just to give it a little bit of a gloss. All right, so thank y'all for watching. That's the end of this thing, man. We got this thing where he wanted it. Next will be assembling it. So let's get it popping, man. I appreciate that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yo, it's Keese.